Good morning, creative capitalists.
Isn't that redundant?
A double entendre.
Sorry, I'm quoting.
We wrote some award show banter. I don't know if we can land it this morning.
I'm Alejandro Segade, and this is Malik Gaines.
Together with our partner Jade Gordon, we formed the collective My Barbarian, founded in Los Angeles in 2000. Our work addresses political and artistic questions through performance, play, video making, and installation. My Barbarian has many ongoing projects, one of which is the post-living Ante-Action theater, which received a Creative Capital grant in 2012.
The post-living Ante-Action theater is performance that takes the form of pedagogy. Codifying our own approach to performance, the POLOT is comprised of 5 principles: estrangement, indistinction, suspension of beliefs, mandate to participate, and inspirational critique. The POLOT takes the form of a workshop guided by these principles.
The POLOT was invented during a residency at the New Museum in New York in 2008. Working with a group of artists for several weeks, we engaged with local cultural questions through the exploration of our 5 performance principles. The workshops resulted in a final recital for a public audience, as well as videos created during the process. This framework has been used to create collaborative works with participants internationally. Over the past 5 years, the POLOT has been presented in art and theater spaces in Italy, Spain, Toronto, Cairo, Philly, and others.
With the support of Creative Capital, we were able to mount the latest iteration of the project in Jerusalem. That's what you're seeing here. This version of the POLOT included an exhibition made up of videos, wall drawings, and other materials generated in the prior POLOTs, with the archive providing a context for the performance at the art space which hosted us, Jaffa 23.
This exhibition served as a rehearsal for a future retrospective of these works.
The workshop in Jerusalem was framed by the tensions in the city and the realities of working creatively in a conflict zone. The participants were a shifting group with different people showing up at the space. Jaffa 23, but a certain point in the weeks, sort of 9 people cohered as the central group. While many of the POLOT principles suggest a kind of utopian model for collaborative practice, the political situation in Israel undermines an optimistic attitude toward democracy.
The performance became a means of exploring the power problems that mark the social space of Jerusalem. Our own participation in a project in Israel during a cultural boycott was questioned. We asked ourselves and the members of the group, largely made up of Israeli artists, some queer or trans-identified, some Palestinian citizens of Israel, to use performance to act out various tensions, like the reasons for the boycott, and other aspects of Israeli policy, such as the American relationship, and pinkwashing, in which LGBT tolerance is used to paint a picture of Israeli society as a bastion of progressive politics in the region.
The participants also generated material which came from their own experiences, making songs and dances, actions, and scenarios that describe a range of topics that affect their lives, from immigration to underemployment to mandatory military conscription. While in Israel, outside of the workshop, we traveled to Tel Aviv and Ramallah to meet with other artists and cultural producers in order to learn more about the ways in which their practices are shaped by the region, and allowing these conversations to shape and challenge the work produced in the workshop. It was telling when we attempted to work on new lyrics for a song about democracy that discussions with our participants broke down. The group fractured into factions that seemed impossible to reconcile. After 2 days of negotiations, the phrase everyone could agree on was, "In Jerusalem, they say that all religions are what you should respect, but in Jerusalem, a divided people is what you can expect."
Creative Capital support allowed us to pay for travel, living expenses, translations of key texts, a professional videographer, and childcare for Angelo, Jade's 7-month-old child who came with us on the trip. And other, I said that already, along with infrastructure support that has helped My Barbarian prepare for our next decade of production. This support will help us take the raw footage from the project and create a video piece that will add to the deep archive of video documenting this 5-year project. The original grant also proposed a renewed project in Egypt, but we now believe that bringing our Egyptian collaborators from Cairo to work with us in the States as an exchange project would be more interesting for us. With the support of an institution in the States, ideally a major museum, somebody out there, we are planning a reunion of key participants and collaborators from all of the past sites. This Polot All-Stars project, a new think tank, workshop, performance, and exhibition, would help us develop a new model of transnational performance. So thanks Creative Capital.